want to see some magic, kid?
Hey guys, today we'll be interviewing Anders Berg from NAD. We'll be talking about the company's rich history, their current lineup, and the future of the company. But first, I gotta make my way down to the store. Safety first, as always. If you were to summarize NAD's philosophy as a brand, how would you do that?
I would say best sound for a reasonable price. I always love this simplicity, and NAD has always been about having a great sound, and that's the number one thing.
For how long has NAD been in business?
NAD was founded in the early 1970s. During the 70s and the late 60s, amplifiers were competing with each other and racing in wattage. And as I'm always saying, wattage has nothing to do with how you listen to music. So they ended up with their own amplifier that would be a great value for money. It would sound excellent, but not cost as much as a car.
So great bang for buck has always been a high priority.
Yes, yes, yeah. Definitely.
And you stayed in business for 50 years. Why do you believe that is the case?
We're always trying to get to a new level when it comes to amplification. And I think we still are one of the best in the business because we are aiming higher and higher for every year.
With the audio industry becoming more and more digital during the late 2000s, NAD and Lembrook saw the need for a truly competitive streaming solution, giving you all the accessibility of modern streaming without compromising on audio quality. So in 2013, they launched Bluesound and their streaming platform, BlueOS, the world's first high-res streaming platform. BlueOS was packed to the brim with features and delivered audio quality far surpassing their competitors in the space. Bluesound is a sister company to NAD Electronics, and their tight collaboration with NAD has allowed them to produce a whole suite of sleek-looking devices offering high-res audio streaming to the masses at a reasonable price point. Today, their lineup consists of several amplifiers, dedicated streamers, and a whole lineup of smart speakers. 10 years down the line, BlueOS has a proven track record of flexibility, stability, and fantastic sound quality.
In your own personal opinion, what's the biggest milestone for NAD as a pioneer?
I think the most important thing is the full disclosure power. Full disclosure power means that the wattage you can get out from an NAD amplifier is measured with the full frequency spectrum. When we drive our amplifiers, we drive them all the channels, we drive them 20 to 20 kilohertz, and we measure that wattage. And I don't think anyone else is doing that. I think that is the most important thing with NAD.
And this is where the term NAD wattage comes from, right?
Yes, NAD wattage or honest wattage.
And what are some newer additions then? Because you've talked a lot about the old innovations. We introduced soft clipping, for example. In which ways, in more recent times, have you keep pushing these boundaries?
Nowadays, we are working with self-oscillating circuits in the amplifiers. Both Hypex and Purify are self-oscillating circuitry. Purify is an amplifier manufacturer that makes really good low harmonic distorted circuitry. Class D is the future, and I think we only just grasp the surface of what we can do with the Class D amplifier.
DIRAC. What is DIRAC?
I think we should talk maybe to one of the engineers at DIRAC to fully understand this.
Do you want to see some magic, kid?
Okay, so where are we, Anders?
We are at DIRAC.
What is DIRAC?
DIRAC Live is a room correction solution. What it does for you, it's that it takes care of the last mile to your ears, you could say. You bought great speakers, you bought a great amplifier from that, but in the end, you're going to put that into your listening room. And actually, the listening room is the biggest problem you're going to have because it colors the sound. And that's what we do. We remove those colorations with a room correction solution.
but sounds like you're trash talking my living room. How could a room be bad?
Your room is probably really beautiful, but it's not acoustically perfect. It's not built to be only an acoustic venue, probably. So you get a lot of standing waves from the room, you get early reflections from your floor, etc. All these things mess up the sound and takes away some of that clarity that you bought that system for.
If you were to put it real simply, how would you explain DIRAC?
Compare it to glasses, right? Your eye vision might not be perfect. This algorithm does exactly what glasses does to your vision. It just makes it clearer. You get a transparent sound reproduction. It's very much like getting glasses.
Okay, so this room looks a little more normal.
This is a very typical listening room, right? So let's do some measurements.
So how do we get started?
Well, it's real easy. We fetch the microphone.
So where should I place it then?
So the first position is in the center, in the sweet spot, where you're gonna be having your primary listening position.
So that's the one you took, you greedy bastard.
Of course. Through the mobile app, you connect directly to the amplifier. So then you have started your project, I've done this in advance, and then you push your measurement button. Measure.
And does it need to sound this spacey? Just it goes zoom?
Yes, it does, because this is how we test all the frequencies of the audible spectrum. So we send out a sine sweep, as we call it, technically, from the lowest frequencies up to the highest that you can hear. And then when we take in this sweet spot, that's the most crucial measurement, you could say. That's also how we align the different speakers so that they are aligned in time and level. Then we put the microphone in the next position, for example, over at Anders here. And then we continue and take one more position here, over at you. So now we've taken 3 measurements. That's really enough to do your first calibration if you're eager to hear the results. To get the absolute best result, you continue and take a few more measurements. We typically take 9. You just take measurements where you're going to be seated and listen. That's the key thing. You don't need to take it anywhere else. It's very logical. Where I'm going to be seated and listen, that's where we want the sound to be good.
Thanks for showing us around. This is a really cool place.
Thanks for coming.
Well, that was cool.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
And what does the future look like now? Because that felt like it was straight out of a sci-fi film.
Yeah, it could look a bit like this.
What's this little small thing?
That is the power node Edge from Bluesound.
So is this sci-fi ship right here, is this your way into the future? Or?
Well, we're already on that wave, I'd say. This is one of a few small, really nice amplifiers. But it's a Class D amplifier, and it got multi-room streaming features, and you can connect it to TV and stuff. So yeah, I think this is actually the future for normal hi-fi amplifiers.
Small, compact.
Small, compact, nice looking.
So this might be a look into the future of NAD then?
Yeah, I think what at least is going to be one of the looks of NAD. We're still going to make the classic Master Series, and we're still going to do like the classic NAD look.
In which ways is NAD still pushing the boundaries of the hi-fi world?
We're still pushing boundaries in when it comes to, for example, room calibration. We're going to continue work with DIRAC, and we're going to continue making really good sound for a reasonable price.
Although it might not look like much to the world, this little thing can power these bad boys.
To prove my point that this is the future, this tiny little creature with these large monsters.
This can't work unless we're going to ruin that.
No worries. I promise you. We could gladly power these Epicon 6s with this small amplifier. It's 2 times 40 watts, and that's full disclosure power.
You were talking to my boss when this goes.
No worries.
Thanks for talking with us today, Anders. If you're interested in learning more about NAD or checking out one of their fantastic products, swing by your local HiFi Klubben and listen to some of NAD's fantastic products. That's it for us today.